Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, February 19th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with the 13th annual WWE Elimination Chamber, which emanated from the Bell Center in Montreal and streamed on Peacock and the WWE Network. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns retained his title, defeating Sami Zayn in 32 minutes and 19 seconds. The close of the match saw Zayn accidentally spear Jey Uso out of the ring, which led to Reigns clobbering Zayn with chair shots before hitting a spear and getting the pin.
Spear to Sami! And again, no officials. Dan Engler back to his feet. Here's the count on Sami Zayn. And of all the damn ways, Reign has retained the championship, it ends like this.
After the match was over, Reigns and Jimmy Uso attempted to keep beating Zayn down until Kevin Owens came out to make the save and allow Zayn to soak up the admiration of his hometown fans. Reigns has now held the WWE Championship for 903 days. The penultimate bout of the evening was the Men's Elimination Chamber match in which Austin Theory's United States Championship was on the line. Theory held on to the title by pinning Seth Rollins in 31 minutes and 30 seconds after delivering the A-Town down. The match also included, in order of elimination, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. Ford's elimination opened the door for the finish of the match. As he was helped from the structure, Logan Paul appeared and gave Rollins a buckshot lariat before delivering a curb stomp, which led to Theory's victory.
Rollins lining it up. What the? Logan Paul! No! Logan Paul is here! And he takes out Rollins! The man who eliminated Rollins in the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins has been talking all kinds of trash about Logan Paul the past couple of weeks. Stop the Rollins by Paul!
In a mixed tag team match, Edge and Beth Phoenix defeated Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. The finish came when Edge delivered a spear to Balor, followed by the husband and wife duo utilizing the Shatter Machine on Balor, which led to Edge's pin. Also on the show, Bobby Lashley defeated Brock Lesnar by disqualification in just under 5 minutes. Lashley had Lesnar trapped in the Hurt Lock Full Nelson when Lesnar back-kicked Lashley in the groin, causing the referee to call for the bell. After the match, Lesnar destroyed both Lashley and the referee, delivering multiple F5s and putting Lashley through the announcer's table.
When is the last time we saw Brock Lesnar so desperate he had to resort to tactics like a low blow? Brock knew he was in trouble.
Brock was this close to fading, to passing out, to the hurt lock of Lashley, and he went low, and now Bobby Lashley, oh no,
Cole, get the hell
he
out
suffered
of
a
here.
number of F5s at the hand of the Beast, and then of course the low blow, and now Brock Lesnar's over here cleaning up the announce table, and that'll only mean one thing. F5 through the table!
The show opened with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which saw Asuka last eliminate Carmella, tapping her out with an armbar in 19 minutes and 30 seconds to earn a shot at Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship during WrestleMania weekend. The match also included, in order of elimination, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Raquel Rodriguez. This was the 4th WWE Premium Live event ever held in Montreal, and the first since Breaking Point in September of 2009. In related ratings news, fast overnight ratings for Friday's go-home edition of WWE SmackDown on Fox were strong once again, notching 2.254 million viewers on average and scoring a .5 in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. AEW Rampage, which aired 3 hours earlier than usual due to the National Basketball Association's All-Star Game weekend festivities taking precedence on the TNT cable network, finished with an overnight number of 428,000 viewers overall, with 145,000 of them in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. New Japan Pro Wrestling ran their Battle in the Valley streaming pay-per-view live from the San Jose Civic in San Jose, California. In the main event, Kazuchika Okada retained the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi in 21 minutes and 8 seconds with a Rainmaker clothesline.
And stringing together offense after offense after offense. Can he finally hit the Rainmaker?
Rainmaker does it! Cobra Flosion into the Rainmaker, hook the leg, 2!
For Okada, was his second defense of his 7th reign as IWGP champion. His match last night with longtime rival Tanahashi marks the 10th title match between the two dating back to 2012, with Okada winning 6 of them. In one of the more anticipated matchups of the weekend, Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, wrestled her first match outside the confines of WWE since 2012. Moné won the IWGP World Women's Championship by defeating Kairi in 26 minutes and 47 seconds with a modified DDT.
Lock and step here. Oh, wait, hold up! Could this be it? Boom! The Money Maker!
Mind on our money! Money on our mind! 2! New champion of San Jose!
It was Kairi's second defense of the title she had won in a tournament final on November 20th against Mayu Iwatani. In a match that stipulated the loser leaves New Japan, Eddie Kingston defeated Jay White. After the match was over, as White tried to give his farewell speech, former partner David Finlay came down to the ring and knocked White out with a shillelagh. In a no-ropes Filthy Rules match, Filthy Tom Lawler defeated Homicide after choking him out with a sleeper hold. In other title matches on the show, NJPW World Television Champion Zack Sabre Jr. made his second title defense, defeating Clark Connors. Sabre won the title on January 4th in a tournament final over Red Narita. The Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin retained the NJPW Strong Tag Team Championship by defeating the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. It was their third title defense. Kenta won the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship by defeating Fred Rosser to become the third champion in the title's history when Juice Robinson ran down to the ring and hit Rosser with a roll of quarters. Rosser had held the title for 279 days and made 7 successful defenses before last night. In the 8-man tag team opener, Kushida, Volador Jr., Kevin Knight, and the DKC defeated Mascara Dorada, Josh Alexander, Adrian Quest, and Rocky Romero after Knight pinned the DKC. After the bout, Volador and Romero continued their feud, with Volador challenging Romero to a hair versus hair match. Due to technical issues, there was a 40-plus minute delay to begin the main card. In 2 pre-show matches, David Finlay knocked off Bobby Fish, and Alex Coughlin topped JR Kratos. Last night's Battle in the Valley marked New Japan's first time in San Jose since November 13th, 2021. The main event of the company's first show in the city saw Tomohiro Ishii defeat Jay White to win the Never Openweight title. Turning to the recent war of words between Tony Khan and MMA reporter Ariel Helwani, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Wrestling and MMA reporter Ariel Helwani and AEW president Tony Khan engaged in what appeared to be a contentious back and forth on Twitter last night, both during and after WWE SmackDown, on which Helwani was appearing live in his native Montreal. Helwani was on hand for SmackDown at the Bell Center and used for 2 crowd segments, building toward the show-closing promo from Sami Zayn. After Helwani was introduced by Michael Cole, Khan took to Twitter to write, quote, "You're a fraud, Ariel Helwani. You're as legitimate of a reporter as Tony Schiavone," end quote, making reference to Khan's own TV commentator. Helwani then responded, quote, "Thanks for watching, old friend. Can't wait for our next chat. Also, don't listen to the snowman, Schiavone. You're a legend in my books," end quote. Khan capped off the exchange by adding, quote, "Good luck with the unbiased journalism," end quote. Tension between Khan and Helwani dates back to an interview Khan gave on Helwani's MMA Hour talk show last October, which Helwani later described as one of the most frustrating he had ever done, citing what he characterized as Khan's deflections and unwillingness to give meaningful responses to questions. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In some health-related news, MLW wrestler Richard Holliday announced yesterday on social media that he has completed his cancer treatments and is now beginning the recovery process. Holliday was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma last September and had been undergoing chemotherapy. He last wrestled in June, challenging MLW World Champion Alexander Hammerstone around the time he first started to feel ill. There's no word yet on if or when Holliday will be returning to the ring, although in the past he has emphasized his determination to do so. Taking a look at the independent scene, Game Changer Wrestling streamed their middle-of-the-night show on Saturday, which aired on Fight Plus. Taking place at the Ukrainian Cultural Center in Los Angeles, the main event featured Nick Gage defeating Speedball Mike Bailey in 35 minutes and 54 seconds to retain the GCW World title. Also, Los Macizos, Ciclope and Miedo Extremo retained the GCW Tag Team titles by defeating the Bollywood Boys of Gurv and Harv Shira. In other results, Leo Rush defeated Commander, Charles Mason beat Alley Catch, Blake Christian topped Willie Mack, Jordan Oliver retained the Jersey Championship Wrestling title defeating Mance Warner, Nick Wayne beat Matt Cardona, Tony Deppen won a 6-person scramble match, and in a 6-man tag, Gringo Loco and Los Vipers, Latigo and Toxin defeated Aries, Jack Cartwheel, and Mago. On the National Wrestling Alliance's weekly NWA USA show, which debuted on Saturday, the Country Gentlemen of AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews defeated the Spectaculars, Brady Pierce and Rush Freeman, to retain the NWA United States Tag Team title. Also on the show, which was taped February 12th, in a qualifying match for the newly created NWA World Women's Television title, Taya Valkyrie defeated Genocide. Turning to Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling ran their Pro Wrestling Day Maniac show today from Tokyo's Korakuen Hall. Featuring a handful of New Japan talent, the show was streamed via All Japan's on-demand service. In the main event, 54-year-old Yuji Nagata upset Kento Miyahara to win the All Japan Triple Crown World Heavyweight Championship. Miyahara falls while making the 5th defense of his 6th reign. With the victory, Nagata now completes the Triple Crown of major World Heavyweight Championships in Japan. He won the New Japan IWGP Championship twice in 2000 and 2003, and Noah's Global Honored Crown title in 2014. The other title match on the show saw Naruki Doi upend Atsuki Aoyagi to win the All Japan World Junior Heavyweight title. Aoyagi's first reign with the title now ends after 153 days. Broken into the business by Ultimo Dragon in 2001 and a longtime fixture in Dragon Gate, the now free agent Doi also won the DDT Universal Championship last month. In addition to Nagata appearing, New Japan regulars Minoru Suzuki, Raisuke Taguchi, Master Wato, Toru Yano, Oscar Lube, Yuto Nakashima, Ryohei Oiwa, and Kosei Fujita were also booked. DDT ran Nagoya's International Conference Hall Saturday for a show titled Friendship, Effort, Victory in Nagoya. The card hosted 2 title matches, including the main event, which saw Naruki Doi make the first defense of the DDT Universal Championship he won last month, defeating Cannon in 19 minutes and 21 seconds. Also, in what was described as an environmental utilization battle match for the DDT Extreme title, Jun Akiyama defeated Akito in 11 minutes and 8 seconds with a small package, making his 3rd defense. And we close with the televised ticket sales wrap for the week. WWE SmackDown last Friday night at the Bell Center led last week in attendance for major TV tapings, drawing 12,871 fans, the largest wrestling crowd seen in Montreal in nearly 5 years. That record was beaten just 1 day later at last night's Elimination Chamber Premium Live event in the same building. Elimination Chamber drew the largest crowd for wrestling in Montreal in 20 years since the No Way Out 2003 pay-per-view at the Bell Center, headlined by the rematch between Hulk Hogan and The Rock. WWE Raw last week in Brooklyn drew 10,470 fans to the Barclays Center, the largest wrestling crowd in that building since the 2021 Survivor Series. AEW's Dynamite and Rampage tapings came in last for the week, drawing 2,948 fans for the company's debut in the Sames Auto Arena in Laredo, Texas. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News Podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.